Well, the ships are here, the gates are open, and the Tall Ship Celebration of 2016 is now officially underway here in Bay City.
A dozen from here in Michigan and all over the world are converging on the Saginaw River for this 6th edition of the Tall Ship Celebration.
Yeah, it's considered the biggest and best tall ship festival on the continent, with Bay City earning Port of the Year more times than any other community in all of North America. Our coverage begins tonight at the mouth of the Saginaw River, where the ships are coming in off the Saginaw Bay. That's where we find Elena Holland with more. Hi, Elena.
Hi, thank you very much, David and Colette. So, as you mentioned, there were coming through here. The tall ships did come here at the mouth of the river, but there's still two, at least, that we're waiting for. And it's two that many people say they've come here to see. I'm talking, of course, about the Viking ship and the Spanish ship, the El Galleon. Now, let's take a look behind me now at the bay. You can see it's pretty quiet at this time, but earlier today, we saw just incredible ships from the Dennis Sullivan all the way to the Pathfinder. Just absolutely beautiful ships that have sailed from the bay all the way through this channel, as you see here, and headed right into the Saginaw River and headed to the festivities down by the parks in Bay City. But like I said, there's still a couple that are missing. We don't know why. We have not heard the official word when they're going to be coming through here or why they've been delayed. It was pretty windy earlier today, and some people out on the boat say it was pretty rocky waters for a while there. It could play a factor. Don't know for sure. Most of the people have left the area here at the Bay City Yacht Club, but earlier there were a few people sticking around saying they'd stay here and can't wait to see the ships come in. Here's what some of them had to say.
I've been hearing a lot about that Viking ship. It's pretty unique. I guess it's one of a kind, so I guess it's a lifetime event to come out and see that.
I'm sure it'll calm down when the way out, when they come out. So if worse comes worse, we get on the Appledorf and go for a ride.
You go back in the history of Bay City, and the history of Bay City is based on shipping and the ships that sailed in and brought lumber and all the supplies in. It's just fantastic.
And you know, some of the people that we talked with said that even if they didn't see the two ships that they wanted to see sail through on their way to the festivities, they'll be back tomorrow to see them downtown Bay City. And we'll keep you updated as we know more information about where these two ships are and why they're still not coming through the channel here in by the bay where it meets the river. We'll keep you updated as we know more. For now in Bay City, Elena Holland, WNEM-TV5. Back to you, David and Colette.
All right, Elena, thank you. Well, one ship front and center at this year's festival is the Appledorf 4. Our own Cameron Riddle has been on the ship as it made its way up the Detroit River to the Bay City shore.
That's right. He joins us now here in Veterans Memorial Park just after getting back on dry land from your journey. Now, Cameron, tell me, you have a lot of tales to tell, don't you?
Yeah, I learned so much about boats and about sailing. One of the people that taught me about what goes on ships is a gentleman named Terry Temperley, and he has sailed all around the world and is really the true definition of a human encyclopedia. Midway through the trip, we just started calling him Terrypedia because ask a question, he knows the answer. Yes. So now, with this wealth of knowledge, I want you to meet Terry. He's my new friend and a very smart friend, a very smart guy from right here in mid-Michigan. Terry Temperley has sailed all around the world.
Yeah, one of the cool trips that I did with the Appledore guys early on is they had an invitation to take Appledore all the way out to Halifax in Nova Scotia for a big tall ship event.
Before sailing the seas, Temperley held many jobs, one of them at Dow Chemical in Midland.
So I did a wide variety of things over the years. I was an analytical chemist at one point. I set up some testing out in the plants to identify proper raw materials, intermediates in the process. I worked almost a year one time on just how to make aspirin better.
A man of many crafts, this knowledgeable sailor now volunteers on different vessels, teaching young sailors the ropes of the seas.
I started going out in 2003 with them, and we would take the teenage kids out for a week at a time.
With his corporate hat off and his teacher hat on, Temperley says his biggest joy is learning something new every day.
Well, you know, it's kind of like my retirement job. I kind of like the technical stuff, and I love this concept of, continual lifelong learning.
Well, he does a lot of stuff, so that's why he knows so much,
Yes,
it sounds like.
He knows a whole lot. Unfortunately, he couldn't provide any air conditioning out there.
Of course not. But Cameron, you know, it must have been exciting though to do something. You're doing something new for the first time, and then you're able to have like a tour guide, your own personal tour guide, walking you through it, giving you a little bit of history as you go along.
I know so much about, you know, dredging and the oil ships and what the buoys mean and what this mile marker. I know the difference between knots and miles per hour now. So I'm a regular old sailor now.
So now you can teach Dave and I a few things, right?
You are a tall ship expert.
Lessons begin at 6:30.
Thank you.
We look forward to it. Cameron, thank you so much. Glad you had fun out on that boat. Now, for an in-depth look at the tall ships making up this year's festival, just head to the hot link section of our website, WNEM.com.
Well, that does it for us from the Tall Ship Celebration in Bay City. Let's toss it back now to Frank in the studio. Hey, Frank, you're missing the picture-perfect weather out here.
I'm getting it through you guys. It looks wonderful. Thank you.